at this. We are finally in full bloom. I think this flower was probably at its prettiest yesterday. It's so open now that it's probably going to start dropping some petals here soon. But oh my goodness, are peonies not the most beautiful flower in the entire world? It's such a shame that all of the things I love the most, it seems like, are only around for a couple of weeks and then die off, because the lilacs, which are my favorite scent, they're the same way. You get about 2 or 3 weeks of blooms and then they're gone. And now we have this one opening up this morning too, or well, this afternoon now, but I need to stake it, I think, because this whole thing is laying on the ground. So I need to put something under it to hold it up. But they're so lovely. Don't you agree, Miss Emily? Hi, baby girls. My hands are all wet from the plant. Do you like my peonies too? Gonna help me stake them up? Are you gonna fall off of there, little miss? Oh, my silly girl. What are we gonna do with you? Well, this was not supposed to be a cut flower, but that stem was definitely not very flexible and it popped right off of there. But I think they got the other ones in place. Next year, note to self, I need to put that thing out before the plant gets up and big so that I can guide them up through the wires. But I think we have everything set for this year that we're going to be able to. All right, so I was just putting some coffee grounds I've been saving around my tomato plants to give them some nitrogen, because a lot of the leaves on them are looking very yellow. And I really am afraid. I mean, I know tomatoes love water, but I think they've been getting too much because it's just been raining constantly here lately. So the month of April, we had over 7 inches of rain when our average is about 4. So it's about 3 inches above average. It's like 4.5 is the average, and we had about 7.4 inches. So not really anything I can do about that because I can't stop the rain from falling, but I'm hoping that adding some nitrogen into the soil around them will help. I am going to pick up some like bone meal, blood meal, and I think potash was the other thing that I was going to pick up this weekend. I have a list, but to kind of help. So I believe it is the blood meal that is pretty high in nitrogen. So I'm going to try that at least until it starts to flower and is ready to produce fruit, and then I will stop that and add the other two instead because they have phosphorus and potassium, which is good for fruiting. But for now, we're just going to keep an eye on it and kind of baby it a little bit and hope that it starts to improve. I at least am seeing some new growth out of the top that is looking pretty dark green, so that is promising. But anyhow, I am going to put my stuff away and probably head back in because it's just gloomy and wet out here today, and the mosquitoes have definitely arrived, unfortunately, very early, probably as a result of, one, the very early spring and the warm weather a month before it was due, and then also the fact that it has been so rainy. So, oh, one thing I do want to show you before I go in. So, we have our very first little corn sprouts coming up. These are the peaches and cream. I have not seen anything yet out of the tricolor, and I only see 4 out of the peaches and cream so far, but that means we have some corn coming on. And also, I think it is just about time to put the tomatillo in its pot. I could put out that milkweed, but this one, I'm still waiting on it to grow. It is taking its short, sweet time for sure, but the tomatillo could at least go outside. Well, they have one of the river walls closed, but the other one's open, so we'll see what this river looks like. It ought to be pretty high. Ooh, yeah, she's high. It's almost even with the concrete. All of the logs floating in the river. Yeah, I don't know why they have the one down there closed because it's not underwater yet.
It might be real close to that gate though.
Yeah, it looks like there's water over the sidewalk down past that. Right there's the spot where I used to sit and read all the time. I wouldn't be sitting there right now. Get splashed, I better move. Didn't know we were living on the ocean, did you?
That's crazy.
Won't be very long. They're going to have to close the floodgates that keeps it up, and it's supposed to rain for like the next week straight. Have to come back down here again once the river is back down to a normal level and show everybody what it looks like. Here are all the years that the river has flooded, and we are convinced that they are missing one because I moved down here in 2017, and there was another year since then that I can remember seeing drone footage of the water being like way up there, and whenever barges went by it looked like they were floating on top of the wall. And I don't remember what year that was, but it was definitely after 2017. I'm thinking 2019 or 2020. Farmers Market opening weekends. Get this jerky. Their presentation
Yeah, that's the kush with oat milk.
Oh, gotcha.
Sweet.
I'm gonna set it on fire.
There you go.
Thank you. You know something's off with the world when you can't find anything you like in the women's section, but you can find all kinds of cute stuff in the juniors. Like, why is everything they're making for women right now ugly? The stuff is so cute. And by contrast, these are the women's dresses. This was really cute on the hanger, but I knew I wasn't going to like the ruffle around the bottom of the top. If I could have just kept the skirt, it would have been perfect. I really liked the style and fit of this dress, so this one actually ended up being the only keeper out of the whole lot. I really like linen for summer, but why is it that all the linen dresses I find are like a giant bag? If it had a good shape and fit to it, it would have been a keeper. I thought this one was pretty cute too, but I didn't like the fit quite well enough to spend the money to buy it, but it was definitely a close call. This one is the epitome of my struggles with clothing because the top was way too tight and the bottom was way too loose, so there was no way I was going to keep this one. Look at all the blooms. We've got so many more opening up today. They're so pretty. Oh, look at that. Have you ever seen anything more beautiful? This one is starting to wither away now. They're not quite so pretty whenever they get to this point, but it's like a big giant pom-pom. I just love these plants. I wish they bloomed all summer. The peas are also blooming now, so I'll have peas very soon. Well, look at this. I have an aster blooming. I didn't know they would bloom this early. I thought they were more of a fall flower. And this yarrow is coming back very, very sparse, but this one is looking good, so I think I'm probably gonna pull up a little bit of it and transplant it over to here and fill that one in. Look at this. I bought strawberries this morning at the farmer's market because I only had green ones, and I have several ripe now. That one's not quite ready to pick. This one looks like it is, though. Let's see if I can get my camera in there. Oh yeah, that one looks good. Then we've got another one here. Let's see what the other side looks like. Yeah, I could use another day. Oops. Well, we have 3. These plants never have produced very much, though. I always get just a few at a time, so just enough to pop into my mouth and not really anything to like use or cook with. Also, if you remember those little ant traps that I bought for my hummingbird feeder at Lowe's last week, clearly they do not work because there's not a single one in there, but this thing is full. So that was kind of a waste of time, and I almost wonder if I don't put something in that bowl, like maybe a little bit of sugar water in that to draw them into it. That way they'll drown in there and not make it into this. But yeah, so far, not working. Stopping for some non-dairy ice cream and some regular ice cream for everybody else. Oh, Gabe, what's that one bright yellow?
Play-Doh.
Oh, that's the Play-Doh? Now I see why they call it Play-Doh.
Did you get your...
And all the non-dairy flavors down here. Little pan of the place. River night too. You always have to come down here after getting ice cream. Actually, usually we get our ice cream and bring it with us down here. But look, there's another barge. This one
There's not as many
is
trees
not
out
as big
here.
as the last one. It's not as wide. It looks like the boat itself is smaller, and it's going upstream, so it's moving a lot slower.
Look, you see that? You see that in the water?
There's lots of stuff in the water because it's flooded. It's got all kinds of logs and stuff in it.
Stop that hurt.
There you go, Gabe.
Well, today is the day. All of Grandpa's stuff was moved to the farm yesterday, and today all of this furniture gets packed up and stored in Michael's shed, as well as a couch and love seat that are in Grandpa's basement. And then the couch and chairs that are in his living room right now are coming here. So we are swapping out all of the furniture, and I have this pulled out so I can vacuum behind there before the new couch comes in. And then all of this is ready to be loaded. And once that is done, all of the chaos of my sister moving down here and my grandpa moving to the farm, all of it is done after today. Grandpa closes on the house this coming up week, but everything will be moved out. So, finally the light at the end of the tunnel. What's going on, Rosie? What are we doing? I came home to find my bed amiss. And there's a little lump in my covers. Gee, I wonder what might be in there. Hello! Are you hiding under my blankets? My little rotten girl. I'll let you go back to sleep now. Yep. There they are. Why did I expect the truck to be bigger than that? Well, we have the furniture all moved into place. The other furniture is now in Michael's shed in storage, all wrapped up in plastic. I'll still have to go get some mothballs to throw in to make sure we keep the critters out. But other than that, we're done. Looks a little different in here with smaller chairs and lighter colored furniture. I have one last errand to run. I am on my way to Lowe's now because I need to pick up some mothballs and then some mouse repellent spray to put in the shed at Michael's house to try to keep everything away from the furniture. We have it all wrapped in plastic and taped off and everything, so I'm not too worried about spiders getting into it because I don't think there's any spot where they can get in, but mice will chew right through the plastic and get into the furniture, so we've definitely got to do our best to keep them away. But then after that, I'm probably just going to work on editing this video and doing some reading. Michael is packing because he has to do a work trip again this week, so I will go over there later on this evening and see him for a little bit before he leaves. But that is it for the weekend. So it's been just kind of a very scattered, random, doing things as we feel like weekend. We finally didn't have a lot of big plans. The only thing that we really had scheduled was this moving, and it was easy enough because we had a moving company hired, so we didn't have to do much of anything besides direct them. And then I did help. I did all of the wrapping and the plastic, really. They kind of helped pull the covers down over the furniture and flipped it over for me, but then I taped everything shut and got it good and sealed up. So but that is it. So tomorrow it's going to be back to our regularly scheduled week. So I'll be working on making all of the food and more gardening and just all of the usual things. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and I will see you guys back bright and early tomorrow. Bye.